Welcome back. So here's the preview for January 30th games, Saturday, and we have a busy Saturday coming up. So yeah, 12 games. One is a matinee game, which is why I'm doing this Friday night rather than Saturday morning. When I used to do the Saturday or Sunday previews during a matinee game, yeah, the previews just didn't get any views, so I do them the night before. And the matinee game, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern, is the 3-3-1 New Jersey Devils and against the 3-3-2 Buffalo Sabres. I'm very interested to see who wins this game. This is going to be interesting. Now, I put two players under every team on this board. The ones I'm going to be interested in watching are entertaining players. On the New Jersey side is Wood, 3 goals and 2 assists. He's had a very good start to the season. Sharon Govich, who only has 1 goal and 1 assist, but when you watch him play, yeah, he's going to score points in this league. On the Buffalo side, Olofsson, off to another good start, 3 goals, 4 assists for him. And Stahl's picking up his scoring recently, 2 goals and 2 assists. And then 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific hits, and every other game seems to start at the same time. So first off, it's Pittsburgh, who are 4-3-1, in against the 2-4-1 New York Rangers. The pressure's on both teams. Pittsburgh wants to win now, and the Rangers don't want to fall further out of the playoffs. So Malkin with 1 goal and 2 assists. Not happy with his play so far this year, and we'll see how he does tomorrow. And Marino, through 8 games, still 0 points. It's a surprise. On the Rangers side, Adam Fox, 1 goal, 4 assists. Rangers fans will tell you how good he is. Zibanejad, 1 goal, 1 assist. Baffling the amount of games he's gone in between points, but you know what? It'll heat up for him. It'll happen. 7 o'clock Eastern as well, 4 o'clock Pacific. The Islanders in against the Flyers. The Islanders are 3-4. The Flyers are 5-2-1. The Islanders, they have to watch and make sure they don't fall too far off the pace. Dobson, 1 goal and 4 assists, has been very good on the blue line. And Brock Nelson, this is another surprise that he's only got 2 goals. He's very prominent when you watch Islander games. James Van Riemsdyk, sort of left hung out to dry during the offseason by fans. 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points in the first 8 games this year. He's been excellent, especially on the power play. And Nolan Patrick, very solid comeback by Patrick. 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points for him. Kudos. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, Boston in against Washington. This is the Zdeno Chara versus the Bruins game. And Marchand said you don't poke him, you don't bug him, leave him alone kind of thing when asked about how he'd go after Chara and the Capitals, basically saying I'm not. So Boston's 5-1-1, Washington's 5-0-3. Those records tell you this game's going to be very good. And Nick Ritchie's been excellent for the Bruins. 3 goals, 3 assists. I know, it sounds weird to say it, but he has been. And Sporel has been solid, but only the 1 assist so far. We'll see if those points totals start to go up if he's getting more special teams time for the Bruins. Justin Schultz, 2 goals, 4 assists. Got off to a bit of a slow start with the Caps. He's going fine now. Nick Dowd, 2 goals, 1 assist. Very good. Bottom 6 forward for the Caps. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. The red-hot Dallas Stars, coming off of a win wearing their rave jerseys. They can call them blackout jerseys all they want. They look like they went to a rave. In against Carolina, who are 3-1. This is a great test for Dallas. Probably the best test they've had so far this season. Gurianov, 3 goals, 4 assists. He's had an amazing start for Dallas. Radulov's been solid, 2 goals and 2 assists. He's had 2 penalties all season. They were in their last game. And so Radulov has stayed out of the box 3 out of 4 games. That's good news. On the Carolina side, Trocheck, 2 goals and 1 assist for Carolina. He's playing well. And Gardner, off to a start with 2 assists, and I believe he's a +4 as well. So overall numbers for Gardner aren't too bad. 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. The Nashville Predators, 4-3 in against Tampa, who are 3-1-1. This is an excellent test for Nashville, who are now above 500. And interestingly, both Duchesne and Johansson are goalless. Duchesne has got 3 assists for his troubles. Johansson has 2 assists. The pressure's on both. That's a lot of money tied up in guys who haven't got a goal yet. And on the Tampa side, Killorn, 1 goal, 2 assists. A bit slower start than he had last season. Sergachev, surprisingly, only the 1 assist thus far through 5 games played. He'll pick it up. Also 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Like I said, every game is on at this time. Florida 3-0-1 in against Detroit 2-5-1. And Detroit's teetering. If they can't get a win over their next couple, they're right over that brink. And when I do the power rankings tomorrow, I partly feel like I need to apologize to Detroit fans for last week's power rankings because odds are they're going to fall. But we'll see what happens with them against Florida. We'll see what happens. Verhaeghe, 4 goals and 2 assists. 6 points for Verhaeghe in 4 games. Who saw that coming? And Yandel with 1 goal and 2 assists. He has not been a healthy scratch, and he's a +1. On the Detroit side, Larkin, 3 goals and 3 assists in 8 games for Detroit. And Brome, with no points yet, but if you're looking for a guy who's got the skill and he's prominent, he's been interesting out there, Brome should get on the board soon. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, this should be an ugly game from the best perspective, in that there should be a lot of hitting, there might be a couple of fights. Calgary needs to come out and show they really want to win. Calgary's now down to 2-3-1. Their only wins are over Vancouver. And for Montreal, they're 5-0-2. Montreal, been an amazing season for them so far. Calgary, Lucic off to a 2 goals and 1 assist. Pretty decent start for him. Levo, quiet. 1 assist so far in his time in Calgary. If the Flames want to let him go back to Vancouver, I'd be perfectly fine with that. For Montreal, Nick Suzuki, 2 goals and 5 assists for him. 7 points in 7 games. He's been excellent. Everybody knows how I feel about him. And Josh Anderson, 4 goals and 1 assist. The goal scoring's been good for him so far this year. We'll see if he can put one up against Calgary tomorrow. Also at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, another Canadian matchup. Toronto and Edmonton. Toronto is 7-2 on the season, and they can really bury Edmonton with a win. Edmonton's 3-6. I'm wearing an Edmonton jersey because I think Edmonton deserves to win at least one out of this set. That being said, we'll see what happens, right? Nylander, 3 goals, 5 assists. He's been very good for Toronto. And Simmons is starting to show that offense. But not only that, with 3 goals, he's also prominent when he doesn't get on the board, in that he's net crashing a lot. He's a distraction. He's the kind of player they've needed the whole time. On the Oilers side, Darnell Nurse is taking over offensively, 1 goal and 6 assists. Always knew the talent was there. Puljujarvi, only 2 assists so far, but he's getting his opportunities, and you get the feeling the puck's going to start going in for him. Then an hour later, at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, we get the 5-3 Colorado Avalanche against the 5-3 Minnesota Wild. These teams have the same record. They got here differently. They got here against different opponents. But for Colorado, this is a good test. Cale Makar, 9 assists so far, has not got a goal. But you get the feeling that it's going to come soon, maybe tomorrow night. Kadri, 3 goals and 3 assists. He really heated up in their last game. We'll see if he carries over to this one. On the Minnesota side, Greenway's been quite the story for Minnesota that nobody's talking about. 1 goal and 6 assists so far, so 7 points in 8 games, and he's a +8. So the defensive side of it, he's been excellent, and the points are there. Brodin's off to a good start too, 1 goal and 3 assists. We'll see how they do tomorrow night without Fiala for the first of a 3-game suspension. Starting at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, we have the St. Louis Blues in against the Anaheim Ducks. St. Louis 4-2-1, Anaheim is 3-3-2. Perron, 3 goals and 3 assists, off to just your standard Perron start. 6 points in 7 games. Yeah, that's Perron. Krug, 1 goal and 2 assists. Points total's a little bit lower than anticipated when he signed that contract. They'll pick up. On the Anaheim side, I went with 2 guys that are underwhelming so far offensively. Getzlaf, another slow start. 3 assists for him through 8 games. And Grant, just the 2 assists so far. He had a very good offensive season last year for Anaheim. Waiting for that to kick in this year. And then the lone game starting at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern is Vancouver in against Winnipeg. So Winnipeg starting late for themselves at home. And for Vancouver, they're 5-5. They're coming off that sweep, the 3-game sweep over Ottawa. Now they get the opposition of the Winnipeg Jets, who are 5-2. They had a fun time against Ottawa as well. Now we'll see who wins this clash. Keep in mind, Winnipeg basically owns the Canucks. So the Canucks need to go out there and show that that ownage is last year and prior years, and this year's different. They're going to need to assert themselves. Working in their favor, Pettersson's heating up. He's got 3 goals and 3 assists now. He's finally getting those points that we knew were there. Höglander, 2 goals and 3 assists in 10 games. Not too shabby. So if he puts up a point every other game, that's a pretty solid player right there. On the Winnipeg side, Nick Ehlers, and I'm going to take a little bit of an issue with the NHL.com article from today on surprise scorers, and they had Ehlers, 5 goals and 6 assists in 7 games. I'm not surprised. I have talked about Ehlers for over a year now. Last year I thought was his best season. And I know that offensively it may not have been his best season. There may have been other words. And some people said, well, he had a good year. I don't know what Shannon's talking about. Yeah, these points, this is what was foretold last year. The offense is there. The explosive speed is there. And now he has a prime scoring opportunity on special teams, and he may very well be able to score at this pace for a while. And Pionk, 5 assists so far. He is a -1, but his overall play has been solid. And yeah, this should be a fun game tomorrow night. And again, am I emotionally invested in this? Not yet. Again, it was 3 wins, but it was over Ottawa, so you got to kind of balance that out. And tomorrow night we see whether or not they can go over 500 against a very good Winnipeg Jets team. Let me know your thoughts, your predictions in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.